Hey there, I'm student meteorologist Monique Martinez with your Tuesday edition of FSU weather. Those showers have made their way through Tallahassee. We're currently sitting at 79 degrees with some scattered thunderstorms with some breezy winds coming in from the west at 16 miles per hour. Currently in the Big Bend, we are pretty comfortable with temperatures ranging from the low 80s to the mid 90s. Currently in Tallahassee, we are at 79 degrees, quite cooler by the coast at 87 degrees in Apalachicola, 80 degrees in Sumatra, and 93 degrees in Bainbridge. So those pop-up showers are really making their way across the Big Bend. Right here on the satellite and radar, we see those showers popping up and possibly some potential lightning strikes for the area. But for today's show, we're going to talk about strong severe weather in the upper plains, our rain chances for the work week, and is it truly quiet in the tropics? All that and more on FSU weather. And welcome back in. I hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. We're seeing some pretty comfortable temperatures right now in Tallahassee. 95 for our high, which is a little higher than our average, and we are quite higher for our low as well at 74. Now for our current temperatures in the Big Bend, we're very, very comfortable, currently sitting at 79 degrees, 80 degrees in Sumatra, and 87 degrees in Apalachicola by the coast. Now that high pressure system to our west is really bringing that hot and humid conditions that we're currently seeing. These green, deep green temperature values really allude to those warm and humid conditions that we're seeing in the Big Bend. Currently our dew point in Tallahassee is 77, with more or less it being the same in Quincy, Donaldson, and Monticello at 80. For our heat index, we're currently feeling like 83 in Tallahassee, so not too severe, currently at 103 in Bainbridge, and it's quite hot in Valdosta at 105 for their heat index. Now those pop-up showers are making their way across the Big Bend. Right here we see those pop-up showers really making their way inland, moving across the Big Bend, and we have some shower activity going along the I-10 corridor, and we're expected to see those showers really continue until tomorrow evening. Now we have a strong southerly flow off of the Gulf, really bringing that strong gusty wind at 16 miles per hour that we're seeing right now in Tallahassee. Now as we head into the overnight hours, we will cool down at 75 in Tallahassee, but you can see it will be quite cloudy across the Big Bend, and the temperatures more or less being the same, 76 in Apalachicola and 75 in Quincy as well. Now, if you're going to go out running tomorrow, you can see our index values for our heat index UV ranges, will be quite high at noon. So our UV index at 9 degrees is a little high, so I would say to put some sunscreen on if you're going to go out for a run, but you'll see that our temperatures will steadily increase throughout the day. So if you want to go out for a run, I would say the morning or evening would be the best time. Now, as I mentioned, those storms will make their way through the region and kind of dissipate and fizzle out and return Wednesday evening. You can see that southerly flow again off of that radar and those pop-up showers returning across the Big Bend. Now for tomorrow, we're going to warm up slightly. We will sit at 95 in Tallahassee, more or less the same across the region, the mid to high 90s, with the exception being Carabel and St. Mark's at 89 degrees. And for our 7-day, as we move into the week, those rain chances will continue to increase. We will see some stormy conditions on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We'll mellow out a little bit over the weekend, and those rain chances will return again on Monday with a 60% chance of rain. Now we're going to head into the southeast, and it is quite cloudy across the southeast. Lots of clouds in Tennessee, Charleston, and New Orleans, but you can see the exception right here being beautiful Daytona Beach. That sun is really peeking through at 87 degrees in that area. Now for current conditions across the southeast, very rainy in Tallahassee at 79 degrees, but it is quite beautiful in Little Rock and Shreveport right now at 98 and 97 degrees respectively. Now, as I mentioned before, we are very, very hot and humid due to that high pressure system over to our west. And right now we have dew points really suggesting those humid conditions that we are seeing. Now it feels like right now across the Big Bend and the southeast, very, very warm. Still very hot in Memphis with a heat index value at 1010, and that is the case for much of Florida as well. You can see right here in Tampa, they have a heat index value at 102, so very, very warm for the next couple of days. Now we are still seeing some onshore moisture and activity coming in from the Gulf. You can see right here that our friends in New Orleans in this area right here are still seeing heavy rain. Now that low pressure system has really dissipated and made its way out of the region, but they're still seeing those showers and that storm activity. And you can see it's more or less the same for much of Florida. Across the coast, we'll see those pop-up showers really come and pop up over the weekend. Now for tonight's forecast, we will be at 75 in Tallahassee, 81 in Tampa, 81 in Miami, and a little warmer over here in Nashville at 81 degrees. Now for our future radar, it will be more or less the same for the southeast. That Gulf Shore breeze and that breeze and southerly flow from the Atlantic will really make its way in, really increasing those rain chances for the area, really seeing those rain chances increase until the evening hours tomorrow. Now for our 3-day outlook, if you're going to take a trip to Charleston, it's looking beautiful right now. We have these low-level clouds really popping up, and they're very, very gorgeous, but they are seeing stormy conditions. 40% chances of rain on Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, it will increase just a tad at 60%, but temperatures ranging from the mid to high 90s. Now for tomorrow's forecast, we will warm up again across the area. 95 in Tallahassee, 96 in Nashville, and quite warm but sunny in Little Rock at 101. So now I'm going to pass it over to Brandon for a look at our national.
Thanks, Monique. Yes, and as always, we got plenty to talk about nationally across the continental U.S. So let's first take a look at what is going on temperature-wise, where we see the highest temperatures are in the central U.S., into Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. And we see 98 in San Antonio, 100 in Dallas, 93 in Kansas City. So that's where the warm spot is in the country. As you go to either coast, it gets slightly cooler. And the heat index, of course, for that area is going to be rather high, as we see 101 in Dallas, 110 over there in Memphis, and of course lower as you go near the water, near the coast, 73 in San Francisco, and 75 up there in Seattle. And across the country, our major systems we have are this low pressure system that has this warm front draped down the eastern coast, bringing some severe possible weather to the mid-Atlantic states. And we also have a ongoing derecho right now into South Dakota and into Iowa, so we'll take a look at that in a little bit. That is associated due to a warm front up and the stationary front over there. And of course, the high pressure system near the Gulf Coast, bringing some rain up into the Gulf Coast states. And on water vapor, we can see that big mesocell convective system right here where that derecho is located, bringing all that severe wind gusts into the area. And we see that kind of overarching flow over toward the eastern side of the U.S. But for our active alerts, we do have a lot going on right now. We do have the excessive heat warning and advisory for the central U.S., the warning in that pink color and advisory in the orange, and then that severe thunderstorm watch in the pink, and a couple warnings across the U.S. And let's go up to Alaska. I know we don't do this quite often, but they are actually seeing some fire weather warnings up here in Fairbanks and east of Anchorage. And right here in that kind of yellow-brown color, we do have a dense smoke advisory from those fires. So anyone up in Alaska, make sure you're staying safe from the smoke and the fires up there, and stay safe up there. But for today, our outlook, we do have a lot of rain across the country. So we do have some rain into the Pacific Northwest, down to the southwest, and over to the southeast as well. Some thunderstorms mix in as well, and to the northeast. And all that red, we do have that severe potential. So that's mirrored in the SBC's storm outlook for today, where we do have a moderate risk for severe weather into South Dakota, southern Minnesota, and northern Iowa, all here in that red and orange color, which we do have that chance of very strong to severe wind gusts. But right now in the northeast, in the mid-Atlantic states, we did have a tornado warning earlier down in, I think, Virginia it was. We do have some current severe thunderstorm warnings as these storms are racing toward the east. And moving over to that derecho. So here it is right now. It's producing wind gusts of up to 80, even 90 miles per hour as it races toward the east. And remember, so a derecho is a large-scale kind of mesoconvective system that persists for over 400 miles and is at least 60 miles in width. So it's a very long-lasting storm system. So let's zoom in on it right now. We can see those bright pink colors earlier and indicate some of those strong winds. And we even have some possible damage to trees that have been reported and even houses. But down to the Gulf Coast, we see a lot of moisture coming up from the south, Gulf of Mexico. So that is producing a lot of rain, so some flooding concerns into southern Louisiana and into Mississippi, as well as these storms are kind of slowly drifting toward the north and northwest. But for tomorrow, that severe threat is going to be shifting over to the east, toward the Carolinas and Virginia, as that front moves on their way. And then again, we have another chance for severe weather up in Montana. And for the next 3 days, all that rainfall is going to be pretty much located over to the eastern coast, as well. So as that system moves over toward the east, out, it's going to bring all the rain. Overnight forecast is going to be pretty mild, hot in the central U.S. and a little bit cooler by the coast. And then that is also mirrored into tomorrow as well, with highs in 104 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and 90 up there in Washington, D.C. So now let's take a look at what is going on in the tropics. So let's keep a track on what's going on out there in the Eastern Pacific and into the Atlantic. So in the Eastern Pacific, we do have Hurricane Bonnie that has made its way over from the Atlantic, retained its name because it never dissipated or anything. Currently a Category 3 hurricane with winds up to 115 miles an hour. And we do have another area of interest to watch over the next 5 days. The National Hurricane Center has given this broad low-pressure system a 30% chance of development over the next 5 days. So let's take a look at Bonnie's track. So a Category 3 hurricane right now with winds of 115 miles an hour, moving that west-northwest at 15 miles an hour. And as the days progress, that's going to be moving toward the over open ocean, and will slightly decrease in strength, become Category 2, 1, and then become in remnants as we go into late next week, or early next week, rather. And so now for the Atlantic. So the Atlantic is seeing some dry conditions right now due to the Saharan dust that is expecting to have another plume coming over our way. So that's going to keep the tropics rather quiet for the next couple, 5 days, next week or so. And that's mirrored here. We see on the satellite, not much going on in the main developmental region. A little bit of convection near Cuba from daytime heating, but nothing to watch from the National Hurricane Center. And you see for July, typical formation of tropical cyclones, you see it's pretty scattered around the basin, but mostly concentrated into the Gulf of Mexico and up by the coast of the Carolinas. The Caribbean seems to die down a little bit in tropical activity formation as you head into late July. And we do have a few storms that like to produce and start over, near the equator, just north of it, and even some by the coast of Africa. So let's take a look at what's going on back home locally with Wanique.
Thank you, Brandon. Those showers have made their way through. We're seeing some overcast right now. And if you look at our camera, at our live camera view at Doak, you can see we have some rain droplets currently on that camera, really showing those rain showers that just pushed through. Now we're still at 79 degrees with scattered thunderstorms with some gusty winds coming in from the west at 12 miles per hour. Now currently across the Big Bend, we are at 79 in Tallahassee, 81 in Sumatra, 87 in Apalachicola, and quite warmer, in Valdosta at 94 degrees. Now those storms are making their way across the Big Bend, and you can see we have some possible pop-up showers and lightning activity right here close to Tallahassee, as well as Lake City and Waycross. So be weather aware when you're driving. We may see those pop-up showers increase over the evening hours. Now as we move into the evening hours tomorrow, we'll see those pop-up showers increase in return, but for tomorrow during the day, it will be quite clear and we won't really see much activity. We'll just have clear and sunny skies. Now for tomorrow, we will be quite comfortable, for tonight, our evening forecast will be quite comfortable in the mid-80s, and we will cool down significantly, reaching 78 degrees at 12 a.m. Now for our 7-day, we are looking pretty nice across our 7-day. We will possibly have some scattered showers throughout the week, but please be sure to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook at FSU Weather. Be sure to watch us live on YouTube. If you haven't already, subscribe to us at FSU Weather. And please follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather. So one last look at your 7-day forecast. We will be quite stormy throughout the week with significantly high rain chances, and we will warm up on Thursday at 96 degrees. We'll cool down on Monday at 87 degrees, and we will see those rain chances, as I mentioned, really stick with us until Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great evening.